Ladies and gentlemen of the board, you have in your packet the information regarding the quote we received on renovating the fixtures and the stalls at the high school restrooms. And that includes all 8 restrooms and all the fixtures and all the stalls indoors. And concession, it does not include a concession stand, but just the 8 restrooms inside the building themselves. The recommended quote is for $81,744.70, and it was presented by R.L. Johnston, a local contractor.
And this is for information. We'll vote on it in November. And the plan is to do this when, Mr. Truett?
Over Christmas break. We'll have approximately just under a 2-week window that allows them to get a large crew in, turn off water to the entire building at one time, and they can divide and conquer and do this quickly.
I have one thing while we're on the subject of these restroom updates. It was brought to my attention in August at a meeting in Mr. Patalka's office. Well, it was brought to my attention like 20 plus years ago that our weight room is in the boys' locker room at the high school, and it is a mess. It should not be in there. I know girls have to go in there and work out and exercise, and it smells horrible in there. It's full of dirty football uniforms. It is a really awkward place for a weight room. But I went down to the high school and checked it out. I know that Mrs. Stanton was in favor of it. Mr. Brown, Corey was also very much in favor of making a change. There was a fairly simple way we could get the weight room or get the locker room out of the weight room and make it better for our trainer for the high school basketball. A million different things, and it was a project that was only going to cost about $20,000. Mr. Patalka told me that we were going to talk about it at our September meeting. We didn't talk about September. He said we weren't going to talk about it tonight. We were going to talk about it at our board retreat. I feel like it just keeps on going on and on. And Mr. Patalka was talking about lumping it in with some other capital improvement projects. I think this is something that, knowing what I know about the weight room and the locker room situation, I feel like it's something that we need to act on as soon as possible. I think that a quick fix can be made. It's obviously been a concern for many years. We've done a lot of capital improvement projects in that time. Maybe this one should have been taken on a little earlier, but I feel like this is something that we should act on immediately. Girls going into a boys' locker room to lift weights is not good, and I would like to see us do something about it tonight. Make some sort of request to see this project move forward. You know, I think it could happen over the Christmas break. It could happen as soon as football season ends, as far as I'm concerned. But you know, I know that it's not above board to have this going on, and as a school board member that knows about this, I feel like it's something that has to change immediately.
If in front of you have the comprehensive draft and also the capital improvement plan draft, if you'll turn to the back pages, you'll see starts with Alleghany High School, the last 3 pages. And on there, it has the weight and locker room upgrade, which is about $130,000.
I'm not asking for all these upgrades right now. I think that they would be willing to do it in steps. It appears that you know, it's just punching one hole in the back of the gym wall to access an underutilized area that could be the training room. Is all we need to do, and we can do this in steps. But if we did that, it could could get the weight room, the locker room and the weight room separated.
It's not quite that as easy, Mr. Wright, and I'm not saying we have to do it all at once. We are going to do it in steps. And so the plan we were going to present on Friday, what we were going to plan on doing, and then hopefully approve that in November to get that going, which would include that in there. They have given me the plan and the steps in there so that we could decide how that would go, all right? And that would be part of the whole as we look at it. So I was going to ask you all to take a look at this anyway before Friday. So
But here's the thing, if we don't do it by Friday, we talk about it on Friday, at next board meeting, we
can approve it on Friday.
We decide to do an RFP, and then, you know, it won't get back in time to do it over Christmas, and then it'll be, you know, the next season, and we can't do it this basketball season, last into February, and then, you know, it's gonna keep going on and on and on. I would like to see that one particular part of it just pulled out and expedited.
If that can be done, we can do that. I just don't know. I can't give you that information because I don't have it. So, but I'll be more than happy to have that for you by Friday.
And I would invite any board member to go down and see this situation. I'm sure Abby has been a part of this, and it's not a very good situation. You know, it's something that I would recommend anyone talking to Mr. Brown and getting a little tour, and he calls it his pitch, that he'll pitch this idea to you. But it's important that we do this as soon as possible.
Yeah, and as a board, I think we have an obligation. If we know we have a risk of students in there, then we have to have an action that we don't have females in there until we get it fixed. I mean, it is a risk. I agree wholeheartedly. And we shouldn't be subjecting our students to that, you know. I don't know how they control the traffic, how they ensure that boys aren't in there. You know, I don't know any of that. But I do know as a board member and as a parent, we shouldn't allow it.
And it was brought to my attention in September, okay? And right away, I asked Mr. Brown to put a plan together along with Mr. Ross, and they've come up with a plan. And it involves, it's just not detailed out. I don't think it is as easy as that one fixed, Mr. Wright. But I can get that information off by Friday, which was the plan to do. And you can make a decision on Friday if you'd like, if that one piece is fixable right off the bat.
But Friday, it's not going to be a meeting, so we can't.
We could do a call meeting.
Yeah, do a call meeting.
Sure.
So I'd recommend we do the call meeting and
Can we have the plan?
Yeah, we have the plan.
Mr.
Yeah.
have the plan ready and we decide on it. Right? You okay with that?
I just want to get it going as soon as possible, because it's like one of those things that I know about it now. If something happens, I'm going to feel
Absolutely.
Feel a responsibility, absolutely.
Yeah,
I thought we talked about this before, doing something there back in the gym.
It has been recommended that to do work in the back of the gym, we need to run water, plumbing, electricity. We're piercing the envelope of the building, so we have to make sure it's structurally sound. And both inside the weight room, locker room as well, you'd be tearing into a load-bearing wall, so we have to be sure that's structurally sound as well. So it has been discussed, and as Mr. Katalka said, there will be some more information presented on Friday if that's okay with the board.
And this is the first I heard about it since September, when Mr. Brown brought it to me and we talked about it. So I had the same questions. I had no clue that was going on, period. So, not that it's worked for the last 20 years, but that's not a good mix at all. So
We should hear the plan Friday also.
you'll have the plan. No, the plan is written out. I just didn't bring it with me tonight. I thought Friday would be a good time to discuss it. So.